Hi, we back. My expert opinion, the greatest show in the world. Hit that like, hit that share, let everybody know you in here. Don't cost you no paper unless you was a mother. Hater. Don't be one of those.
We gotta get that fresh in here.
He need a new beat.
I know that shit is impressive.
Repetition, baby, rhythm.
Nah, I want to hear like a drill, like do a drill flip on that one day. Like,
well, maybe I should teach you how to beatbox.
Nah.
I got you.
Everything is not a pause, my nigga. Oh, okay.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chica. I can't wait to hear the album, debut album coming. I saw the advertisement for it. Chica, can't wait to hear what your debut is gonna be fire. I know it. I got all the faith in the world. And that Michael album is fire, but I want to.
Yes, Michael, fire. I definitely went to Killer Mike's show.
It was crack.
It was dope.
Yeah.
I took the boys with me. Y'all had a good time. They only knew one song. but it was cool. It was cool. Shout out to Killer Mike.
Can't wait for the album. Chica, shout out to Chica.
All right. Chastity, what up? No half an hour. Sean Bigger, man of God.
Peace, everybody. Peace, God.
I want to shout out my man DJ Bugs. They can't see you if you just put your hand up, bro. Did it? He's probably gonna come back for one of our hot topic conversations. You know what I'm saying? Got the boys in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Dropping 31 on cats and all of that. Hold on, we got to buy
word, facts.
On cats and
facts. He dropped 31 this what was it, Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday.
Point guard. Most special point guard in the game right
now. I'm here, Flex in the building. All right, shout out to the gang. Splat.
What's the word, my boy?
How you let him start calling you Splat again?
I mean, that's what he do.
Yeah.
That's what he do.
I'm quiet.
Hey, man. You call me Grasshopper how many times? Champ, everything good?
Everything is well, man. Happy to be home, happy to be free. Around, legendary people as always, making moves and just vibrating on a high frequency.
How did we make it home last night?
I don't remember. No, I'm just joking. I was a designated driver.
I could tell I was getting crazy on the phone with some people because I got some crazy texts.
Yes, I was sitting right there.
Yeah,
and I was just trying to pause.
One of those.
Stop. But you was lit. So
shout out to y'all.
Take his
phone.
Out to y'all.
That's what he said.
I don't know what I said.
Phone out and see him next time.
I don't know what I said, but you know what I mean? Yeah. And in the building tonight, we have a champion. Yes, word. Champion.
Yes.
Does he have to?
Yes, go check him. I ain't bringing the ring.
Oh, yeah, bring the ring. We wanted to see it. We wanted to see the ring, but he's an NBA champion. He is the Superman. God damn, you done jumped over cars, people. Like stats. You know what I'm saying? You're breaking rims, the shot clock falling down, all types of
everything.
Oh man, you gave us so many years of just a great game, all around game. I wish in your latter years you shot a little bit more because you hit a couple 3-pointers a couple times. Like, all right, that's what it is. Well, we got him. He's here in the building. Dwight Howard, y'all. Give it up. Sure. Something I always wanted to ask you. Why do you and Future act like y'all not brothers?
Dress it up, make it real for me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. My nickname is the Wizard.
The Wizard.
Wow.
See how that works? Atlanta, the whole thing, bro.
Wow, but that's crazy, man. I
could probably trace it back somewhere.
Yeah. His dad actually was my ref for basketball. And a lot of us growing up, they thought me and him was really brothers. Cause we talking like crazy. All that stuff. So
that's crazy. Y'all been in the studio together ever? Like,
no,
been in the
studio? I ain't no rapper.
Was there ever a time when he was too tired? He was like, "Yo, Dwight, go in for me."
I ain't no rapper.
If you was a Dwight Howard, I could kind of like put the audio out and be like, "Yeah, we got Future in the building." It's crazy. Y'all sound like two.
Yep.
How are you, sir?
Man, I'm amazing, man. I'm grateful and I'm just thankful for life, man. I spent 8 months in Taiwan and I was so glad that the Most High asked me to go over there because I got a chance to really like lock in on what I need to do for the next part of my life. So, man, it's just all about elevation.
Dope.
And I'm just happy in a good place right now.
That's dope.
That's what's up.
As my son would say, you putting up 2K numbers out
Oh,
there.
man.
Oh yeah, you heard about that. So what made you? I know you said you thankful that the higher power allows you the opportunity to go out there. What made you?
What was the deciding factor?
Deciding factor.
Well, I played in the NBA for 18 years.
Right.
And I was like, man, I wanna try something different. And they called me about Taiwan. And I was like, I gotta go try it out. I always wanted to play in another country, but being in the NBA is not possible. There's nothing else I have to prove in the NBA.
Right.
So why not go somewhere else and get some fans that would never see me play basketball in person unless they are in the States, a chance to see me play. And it was the best decision I made, man. It really like, man,
You feel rejuvenated.
yeah, it just gave me wings. 'Cause
Right.
it's like you got 25 million people in this small island, and they just support you no matter what. They behind you no matter what. I did the 3-point contest out there. I'm feeling like, it was amazing, man. I just felt like a whole new person out there, and I'm glad I got a chance to go.
Do you feel like playing out there, the shackles were taken off for you?
I do. The coach couldn't speak English, so I ain't had to worry about nothing.
He's inside yelling, "Don't shoot the
No,
three."
he said it was Howard. Give Howard ball move. Howard ball move. That was the play. I'm running point guard, 2 guard, everything. Yo, I'm doing everything. So.
Are you the like tallest? Were you the tallest
No,
person
I
on the
was
team?
the team. No,
Yeah.
I wasn't even the tallest
Yeah.
person on my team.
Word.
It was 2 guys taller than me on the team. Then in the league, there's a guy 7'7". God
Damn.
7'5" and 7'4" on the same team.
What the?
Yeah,
Sound like the sliders all the way up.
and no 3 seconds. The paint the
Sliders
sliders
is
is
up.
crazy. You talking about 7'5"? I'm only 6'11" with shoes.
Right.
You talking about 7'6",
Right
7'7"?
at the rim.
Man.
What's
They don't gotta jump the dunk. It's just-
There, no, the one dude, he looked crazy. He looked like he just be all day.
Oh shit!
I ain't gonna even lie. That's my dog, though. He cool as shit. He cool as hell. He just look like he. But nah, I fuck with him though. Hey, if you see this, bro, listen, I love you. Nah, it was a play. It was a play. We was watching one of the games, and he grabbed the basketball out of mid-air and laid it up. Like it was going out of bounds. He was running towards the ball. He grabbed it and laid it up all in one motion because he was so tall.
Wow.
Right.
Anybody else, they would have had to grab the ball,
man.
dribble back, and go do something. But he just all in one motion. Said, bro, this dude is a cheat code. 7'7".
7'7".
He the tallest active player in the world right now.
Wow.
What's his
numbers
name?
like?
It's got his name. Hold up.
That's your man, though.
I didn't say he was my man.
I fuck with him though.
I do fuck with him.
That's not his
He
name.
was 7'7". There's another guy, Sam Bular. He played in the NBA. I don't know if y'all heard of him. He's over there, 7'5". They all on the same team. And the other guy that's 7'4", his name is Robert Upshaw. So he's from, I want to say, Fresno. And a lot of guys who played in America, they come over there to Taiwan and play over there. So it's crazy. That's his name. It's Sam. It's
You bow, Sun Ming Ming.
Let me see.
Is that him?
Hell no, that ain't him.
That's an actor dude.
What the hell wrong with him? Who is him?
He looked like what you was talking about, though.
No, this nigga. What? No, this ain't him.
Is that him?
That ain't it.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Nah, that ain't it.
He's 7'9".
That's crazy.
Yo,
So
son,
that's
tripping.
probably the tallest guy in the world.
Nah, dude was.
So you're playing. So you transitioning from the NBA and going over there. the strategy in playing from what you're used to playing in over here, it
It's
changed up.
Yeah, because like
You got to box out a lot. You got people taller than you.
well, I wasn't worried about them as much.
Right.
I was worried about my teammates.
Why?
Tell us a story. You know you got a story about that, man. Come on.
All right, so supposedly, allegedly, this was I heard. I didn't say this. It wasn't me.
A lot of disclaimers. Yo, there's like 4 disclaimers in the same sentence.
Supposedly, allegedly,
this
I
what
didn't
I
hear.
heard.
This is what I heard.
It was what I heard that we had the worst local players. But I didn't say that. It wasn't me. Allegedly.
Right.
This is what they said before I got there. So when we played in these games, they would basically triple team and quadruple team me and the other importer, leaving everybody else wide open. It wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
That's why I was recruiting everybody to come to Taiwan. Needed some help out the video game numbers. It didn't matter. They was just triple, quadruple teaming me and leaving everybody else. They were trapping me at half court.
At half court. That's you was running point.
They was trapping me at half
He
court.
was running points.
I was running point. I'm
power
calling
forward.
for screens, coming off the screens, pulling up. It was a whole new game, but it was fun, man.
So,
I enjoyed it.
What's the difference in playing out there? Like, what's the are there different rules? Or?
It's some different rules. Like it's no 3 seconds on defense, so you can stay in the paint
Playing all day.
all day. And
Just
now
hang out,
You can
like-
just hang out.
Don't come over here.
3-point line is college 3, so it's not as far as the NBA.
Right.
But it was so many positives that came out of being there. They first year for an All-Star game was last season. The team I was on, they went from 1,200 fans a game to 16,000. We sold out the arena every game, so it was crazy. It was kind of like a parade. You know, every city I went to, it was the fans was just there supporting. So it was
It's dope.
What about the business side of it
Yeah. What's
compared
the
to
bag?
the
What's
NBA?
bag?
Yeah, what's the perks on the
You
business
know the
side
bag
of
is
it?
crazy.
over there in Taiwan.
Yeah.
It's about relationships. The first year, and I can't say it's a bag right now.
You can't say it's a bag.
Nah, you got to get over there and really get acclimated with everyone, because it's like they don't want you to come over there and think you finna just take from
And
the
then
culture and then go away.
Right.
It's like, nah, if you're gonna be a part of our culture, like really be a part of this culture, like really help us grow and grow the game and all that stuff. So that's kind of my next step over there. Is I'm in the process of owning a team in the same league that I played in. So not only could I be a player if I wanted to, but I have my own team, which will, raise up the level of play there, but also bring more players from America to come play international ball. Because I think a lot of guys feel like if they don't make it to the NBA, that's it. And there's other avenues to make money and grow your brand globally than the NBA, because truth be told, everybody not gonna make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
So like you trying to put all your eggs in this basket and you don't make it, what you got up next? What are you gonna do? You gonna stop playing? But Taiwan is a great place to come hoop, live with your family, stuff like that, and make some good money.
The environment. You don't. I'm imagining that you don't experience the racism we experience out here.
Nah, man, I didn't experience it was one shooting in 7 months. One shooting death in 7 months in all of Taiwan.
Wow.
So it was no violence, it was just peace. I was able to go any and everywhere just walking. And the last month that I was there, I spent the last month just walking around Taiwan. And every day it was just a crowd of people following me, just talking to me, taking pictures. And it was just nothing crazy. They was very respectful.
Yeah.
And they just all about love. They treat everybody with respect and love. It's a good atmosphere.
So, yo, what was homeboy name that we was in Detroit hanging with?
For the basketball player?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Give me a second.
We'll
He
get
hoop
back
now?
to that.
He hoop now?
Yeah, he was actually one of the top prospects in college but he caught a charge or something like that. And now he plays. What do you say he plays at? China, and he's killing it. Like, you know what I mean? I thought he was a rapper when I first saw him. Bad jewelry, everything. He kept talking to us, and I was like, yo, what do you do? And he was like, yo, I play ball. You don't remember me? I was top prospect. Damn, what's his
he
name?
went overseas. And he started.
But I'm seeing this as like an avenue now.
I think it's a great avenue for a lot of players and a lot of people to just get outside of the states and their comfort zone and travel and see the world. It'll open your eyes up to so much stuff. And when you get back, you can invite more people to come out so they can see it too. And then it's like everybody's raising their vibration. You see so much of the world differently when you travel.
Right.
And it kind of keep you like grounded. A lot of people say humble, but I feel like that's a lower vibrational word.
Yeah.
So I'd rather use the word grounded. You know what I'm saying? I think it's necessary for us to be grounded and rooted in something, but not, we think lowly of ourselves. So, you know, when you travel like that, it really grounds you, it keeps you level-headed. So I think it's good for athletes and entertainers to really get out there.
Why doesn't anybody ever go to Africa to play?
They didn't really have a team. I mean,
never hear about that.
Now they just started one. I think it's a year and a half in. They just started a league over there.
They just had a championship.
But they've had smaller leagues over there, but it hasn't been something that is, you know, like the NBA. Everybody see the NBA and it's like, that's the end all be all. And I understand it because that's everybody's dream. But at the end of the day, you got to think it's 450 slots. It's new guys coming in every year. It's already 5 or 6 guys on every team that got guaranteed contracts. Where everybody gonna play at? There's not enough spots, not enough teams, nor cities for guys to play. So it's other avenues. It's just guys afraid to venture out.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's tough too because going overseas is rough, man. Being over in Taiwan, missing my kids, my family, you know, all that stuff is, you know, it's hard, especially when you're 37 years old. You don't speak Chinese like that.
Right.
Half of my teammates didn't speak Chinese, so on the court, I gotta ask the translator to come here like, yo, come here and talk to the team. His guy is just it's a lot.
It's frustrating.
So imagine if it was, you know, a guy who may not have the stature of Dwight Howard in these places and they gotta try to navigate and stuff like that. So I feel like all that stuff really helps guys in the long run when they take these challenges of playing overseas.
Do you feel like there could be a negative side to that? So like I hear what you're saying about like opening up the portal for other men and women out here to go play overseas. And I mean, just the general consensus of America is like we like to go places and dominate, right? And opening up that door and other players coming over there, do you think it could have a negative effect? Because it's like, all right, we got a bunch of NBA players here now. And it takes away from their own culture.
I can understand that, but
at some point,
it's not about having other NBA players to come. We want players from around the nation and the world who might not have the opportunity to come to play in Taiwan or to play in
Japan,
Egypt,
Africa.
Japan, and all these other places because they still can get a bag over there. And then now you can become a global star because you're playing in a place. You got to think. I went to Taiwan. A lot of these people have never, ever watched basketball until I got over there. Now I just gained so many fans because of just going over there.
Right.
And then all the guys that I was playing against, they got deals just from playing against me on the court. You know, they got opportunities just from just little stuff like that happening. So, you know, all we're trying to do is bridge the gap. We want players to be able to come back and forth, and now we're raising the game itself.
And bringing attention to their country as
and,
well.
And our culture too. Now they understand us more because we coming over there to hoop. And they really want us to come over there. Like, they want more of us. And there's a lot of us over there.
Right.
A lot of players come over there and hoop. They get a good bag, it's a quiet life, and they come back home, be with their families. Then they go to other places and play. And then they just keep doing it.
So I want to see it happen in Africa.
Yeah, shout out to Jalen Reynolds. That was his name.
Jalen Reynolds.
Yeah.
That the guy who fainted in court?
Fainted? Did he faint in court? You gonna have us Googling this whole
shit? They read him something. He fainted as like a black guy. He was like kind of tall.
Yeah.
That might be the same guy.
But yeah, he's over there killing now. So.
How you feel about the big three and what Ice Cube doing and the controversy he's going through with the NBA?
I like the big three. But again, he fighting the NBA, and that's a big monster. So they like, nah, hold up. We don't want you messing up our money with our old players. See what I'm saying? So I can understand their point of view, but I don't think it's right. But again, Ice Cube is doing the right thing. You know, he's trying to continue to give these guys a avenue to continue to play basketball, continue to provide for their families. And it's like they may want to stop that because it doesn't benefit them. But Ice Cube, everything he says is on point. You know, I love Ice Cube for what he's doing. He's providing jobs.
Shout out to Cube.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a lot of NBA players.
And everybody he's built who's around the business. Everybody, he's hiring a lot of people who have to work the marketing jobs, and even working the concession stands, like all the way through. Yep. It's a lot of people he's putting in work that he's paying.
That's a lot. It's a lot to own a big conglomerate like that. And he's doing an excellent job. And now you got someone that's like, nah, we can't have you taking over this space. And they gonna fight tooth and nail with him. And he just got to keep doing what he's doing.
Right.
He's supporting Cube.
Yeah, shout out to Cube. We support you, Cube.
Shout out to Cube.
Cube doing the right thing.
Now I want to take it back.
Go to Africa, man. Okay.
I've been to Africa a couple times. I built some. I went to Africa a couple years ago. I went to Tanzania.
I built some dormitories for women to go to school.
That's fine.
In Tanzania.
Man, that was a while ago.
Yeah, we built some dormitories out there. We also, because the women were having tough time getting from their homes to the schools, we had to provide, like we made these sanitary wipes and stuff like them, because if they would have their cycles and stuff, they would get shunned out from villages. So we tried to find ways to really just help them get into school and stay and stuff like that. But I've been to Africa a lot, and it's a real peaceful place.
Shout out to Akon. I saw a post of him saying, like, imagine if all the ball players went to Africa and set up their own things, and all the artists like went back over there. All the materials is there, all the talent is there. You can go over there and just like set up shop. And whenever I hear ball players talking about going overseas, it's always someplace other than that. And I'm really curious to see what would happen if we applied that.
Yeah, I don't think that we won't go over there to play basketball, but the other thing is this: are all of us from Africa? Like,
I guess
eventually, depending on how far.
If you want to keep going back, my point is this: like, what about our places here?
Never will I negate our claim to this soil ever. Like that has nothing to do with anything. Like we just had a discussion the other night with a presidential candidate where we loudly told him about what we're owed and the fact that we haven't forgotten. We have no intentions of letting up on that. Not only that, we don't care how other people feel about the fact that we're owed and we still want what the deal that you told us and indebted us on. So I'd never do that. But however,
continue.
You dig what I mean?
Like, the unfortunate part is that that does happen. You know what I mean? That we have to. There are people who fight against us here. There are people who will stand in the way of our progress. There are people who still want things to just operate in a space for their comfort and not for the growth of the actual country. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the Africa thing would be like, this is the play. You know?
You got way more ties to Africa than you do to Taiwan. You look way more familiar to somebody in Africa than you do to somebody in Taiwan. And I'm not shitting on it. I'm not shitting on it, especially if it helped you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you went over there and elevated in any way.
You averaging 38, bro?
Sheesh.
Averaging 38?
That was for a big portion of the season. Then I got hurt. And then
that's still a yes. That's still a yes.
Averaging 30.
It was averaging 38 to win. I got hurt. Then it went down to 28. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, go to Africa. Anyway, you were saying.
Right.
Go
Now,
to Africa.
I want to take it back. Getting the NBA, they're calling you the second coming of Shaq. How did that make you feel at the time?
I never really thought about it.
I never wanted to compare myself to Shaq or any other player.
Right.
When I came into the league, I wanted to learn from the people that came before me and just dominate and just keep elevating.
Right.
Shaq wasn't a favorite player of mine growing up.
You had Penny Hardaway over there too.
I liked Penny Hardaway at the time more because I really didn't want to play center.
Right.
Growing up, I never played center. I actually didn't play center till I got to the NBA.
Right.
So my favorite player was Kevin Garnett and Wilt Chamberlain. But off the court, no, I'm just kidding. My favorite player was Kevin Garnett.
Y'all cool now, though, right? Y'all cool
Yeah,
now,
well,
right?
we'll
You-
put
you
the
and Kevin
numbers up.
Garnett.
We always been cool. We talking about because we had
Well,
the
he
little.
bumped his head on you, Paul.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We been cool. We kind of had a little beef in that little moment.
Pause.
Right.
But after that, I went and talked
Come
to him.
on.
Nah, he talking, I'm listening. I'm trying to catch him. Chill out. I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
So, but nah, after we had that little scuffle on the court, I actually saw him.
Right.
And I was like, yo, like, do we really have an issue? And he was like, no, bro, I really fuck with you, dog. It's just when we on the court, it's fuck you. Because you're on the other team. And so I'm like, you know what? I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody want to be cool and friends. And he like, nah, nigga, fuck you when we on the court.
Right.
But off the court, we brothers. I love you. And I respect you. So I was like, you know what? Cool. Then after that, our friendship was even better because it was like I had a better understanding. Because I asked him, yo, why every time I play against you, it's like, you want to fight me?
Aggressive.
Like every time.
He did try to attack him, though. You know what I mean? The people was trying to keep him back.
But yeah, when he did,
tried to
I was like, yeah, he was going around.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Trying to
Dwight
sucker
was scared.
punch
I'm like, bro, I wasn't scared, but why would I engage in this and then I'm losing hella money for fighting in the game? Like, people be like, man, why don't they fight out there?
This ain't hockey.
Say hockey.
Not that, but you talking about hundreds and thousands and then of dollars just from the fight.
Right.
Yeah.
One punch could be $200,000. And then if you suspend it, now each game is gonna add up to more money.
So now you talking about maybe you lose $1 million, $2 million just because you threw a punch.
You
Is
got
it really
kids.
worth it?
You got children.
Is it really
It's
worth
like
it?
you played the
know what
game
I'm
for
saying?
free that night. Like,
Why would you do that? You're gonna be kicked out the game. You done as soon as you throw a punch. So it's like,
You and Kobe got a little spicy too, though.
yeah, we did.
We moving too fast. We moving too
We in
fast.
the game.
We
All right,
moving too fast. I know there's a million. Listen, there's a million questions in this room that everybody's gonna be like, yo. I want to take it back to that space. With a lot of these young kids, getting this opportunity to be in the NBA. Do you remember what draft day was like? Do you remember the things that people were trying to instill in your mind before you got to that point?
I do, man. I remember the first time I told my dad I was gonna be the #1 pick, I was 10 years old. And he asked me what I wanted to do with my life. And I said, I want to be in the NBA. I want to be the first pick in the draft. And I want to win a championship in high school. He said, well, you're gonna have to sacrifice any and everything to make it to the top. And I said, I'll do it. Whatever it takes, I'll do it. So I started writing down my goals and I put them on the top of my bed. And he said, if you really want to do this, you can't have, your friends can't be in the way. Nothing can stop you from reaching your goal. And so that was the mindset that I had every day. Once I got 15, I had I broke my leg. I was 5'8". And I broke my leg trying to go dunk on somebody. While I broke my leg, I grew all the way to 6'9".
That's crazy.
Nah.
No, I'm dead serious.
Was that like over a summer, over a year?
Over
period?
one summer.
Over one summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
so how tall was you?
I went
Before
from
He was saying
5'8",
5'8",
5'9",
God
all the
damn.
way
to
to
6'9", bro.
And at the end of the season, I was 6'11". So
prosthetics.
He got some sort of operation going somehow. They did something to him. They did something to him, bro. 5'8". That's wow.
Once I
That's why I
got
had to go back
15.
to Taiwan. That's where those parts was made. Made in Taiwan. You had to go That's what it is. You had to go return the parts.
That's a real.
Your dad was tall too?
My dad, he was 6'4". He's 6'4". When I was 15, I broke my leg. And after that, I said, you know what? I gotta get here. Everybody believed at that moment I wasn't gonna make it. Before I broke my leg, I had just started to get calls from colleges. They was coming to see me play and stuff like that. So I was like, man, I'm making it. I started to get all the little girls at my school. They calling my phone. I'm thinking, you know, I'm the man.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I break my leg.
Boom.
And that humbled me right there. That was the moment where God was like, hey, all of this can be taken away. In one moment.
Yeah.
Don't let this happen again.
Right.
So you skipped college and went straight to the league.
Yep.
19 years old.
How did you break your leg, by the way?
I was going up the dunk,
Yeah.
and he actually blocked it, and I was coming down, my growth plate popped, kind of like the Paul George.
Yeah. Oh,
And
man.
so after
That shit
that,
was nasty.
they put
That
2
shit
screws in my knee. They told me I was gonna be out for a couple months. And everybody was telling me I wasn't gonna be good at basketball no more.
Did the phone calls dry up?
Everything dried up.
Wow.
Everything. So I
The
sat at
recruiters,
home,
the girls.
everything. So I said, all right, I'm gonna show everybody. By the time when this happened, I started to get up at 4 a.m. I was going to the track, then I go to the weight room, and I go to the court, then I go to school. I was doing this every day. It was like, I'm playing, and I got to prepare myself for the NBA. So every day I was up doing this. This was my mission. So as soon as I got to draft night, I knew I was going #1. I was telling my boys earlier, I met with Chicago. They had #2 and #3 pick. And they was asking me what I felt about the draft and going to Chicago. I said, I'm going #1, don't worry. I won't be coming to Chicago.
Right.
And it wasn't like I was saying it to be mean to them, but it was like my mind was #1.
One. Yeah.
#1.
#1. Just keep
And
that focus.
nothing else was gonna stop me from being #1. And it ended up happening.
So you didn't have much of a social life during that time.
No, not really.
Wow.
Not really. I kind of missed out on a lot of that stuff, but that's a sacrifice.
Purpose.
Yeah.
When you have a purpose and you're trying to get somewhere, you're gonna miss out on some of the things that everybody else are involved in. But that's how you know that you're chosen, because you're missing out on all the crap. I'm not saying it ain't always
It's a
crap.
distraction.
But all the distractions,
Yeah.
you don't hear and see those because you locked in on what your purpose is.
Now, your mom and dad were both basketball players, correct?
They were.
So, were they both training you coming up,
Not really.
or was it just you? Or your
was
dad
me.
just was instilling the
My
points you
dad-
needed to know?
My dad was a state trooper, so he was always, going on the road. My mom, she was a court clerk, so she was always at the court office at work. So then my brother, we would always just be outside. We watched the Magic Johnson VCR tape of him working out, and that's how I just trained every day. I wanted to be a 6'9" point guard. That was my first position, point guard.
Right.
So I played point guard, and then that's when I blew up and got tall. It's over with from there.
Wow. So you get drafted. Tell us about that transition from going from mom and pop, working hard, not being home as much as you would like, to they don't have to work anymore. And now, in a way, and sometimes that makes you the head of the household by default or by opportunity. What was that like?
I don't think I was prepared for it, because I didn't know what to expect. 18, going from the smallest school in Georgia, I only had 16 people in my class, to being the biggest player in the world. I didn't know how to use a credit card. I didn't know anything about finance, period.
Right.
None of this stuff. I didn't know how to handle women. None of these situations. I'm like a baby in this whole new world. Everything that I experience and know now is through my experiences. And some have been very good for me and some have been bad, but it's really taught me so much now where I can go back and show and tell my son and anyone who wants to experience the NBA or success in that area, fame and fortune, I know what it takes and I know what it's like, and it's a lot.
They just had that video you training your.
Oh yeah, and everybody was going crazy on me about that, and I got so much flack about it. You know, it's like a lot of negative press. Why am I pushing my son so hard? He's crying, but it's like, man, I done seen that real world. I know what it's like, and how a man do one thing is how he'll do all things. And if he quit now, he'll always be a quitter. And I'm not raising no quitters, only winners. And he's gotten so much better just to see his progress from the beginning of the summer till now. He's only 9. It's just, I'm happy for it. He has he sees now like the vision that I have, like, son, we don't quit. You might cry, you can let it out, but we keep going, we don't quit. And you know, he's getting there. It's a rough world. And I mean, all of us know we done experienced it. So we gotta be the ones who teach our kids. We can't depend on somebody else to teach our kids. And I got a lot of flack for pushing my son to his limit to reach he can get higher than even where he think he's at.
Does he have the same aspiration, number one?
Yeah, he do. And I watch him so he started out this summer only being able to do 15 push-ups. Now he can do 230 a day. He only 9. 230 push-ups a day, he only 9.
Not straight though,
You
right?
building a machine.
Not straight.
Nah,
He can do 50, 60 straight.
Oh, that's
Nice.
crazy.
So like he'll tell me, you know what, Dad, I did 50. I got more to do today. I'm gonna even it out. By the time it get nighttime, I'm gonna have my 230 push-ups. And he'll sit there and he do them. And he asked me how I do. I'm like, you did good. At first he was like, I gotta do this, but I'm telling him like, son, I gotta prepare you. It's not just for athletics. I don't care if you play basketball. I don't care if you whatever you want to do. But you gotta have a healthy lifestyle. This is gonna help you with everything in your life. This is not just for basketball. If you don't want to play basketball, fine. Will I be a little hurt? Hell yeah, because he's big as hell. He's only 9. He wears a size 11 and a half shoe. And he big. He's a big old kid.
Wow.
I'm talking about my son.
Chill, man. He got no chill, man.
I tried
You say you played a pause game, you said big too many times.
I tried to tell you.
Okay.
I don't see how you can get to everybody who gave a father flack for instilling discipline in his son. Shame on you. Like, you really should be ashamed of yourself for stopping a father from being a father. Just because your father wasn't like that, but just because you've never seen a dad like that, doesn't mean this style of parenting or this style of being he wasn't abusing his son. He was that's called discipline.
But what it is
called strength.
There's not a lot of people out there that have fathers or
Sucks
even
for you.
understand what a father's role
Sucks
is.
for you.
That's
Sucks
the
for
tough
you.
job. You know what I
Sucks
mean?
for you.
The showing you how to be a man, what that entails. A lot of people don't know what that looks like.
How about
You know what I
this? Just don't shit on what you don't understand.
But you know what? You know how it goes.
impossible.
People hate what they don't understand.
Right.
Feel what they can't conquer.
Yes, and
Thank you,
they
Nasir
hate that.
Jones.
They also hate to see the fact that a black man is building up
Another black man.
his black son. They hate that. They want us to tear each other down.
True story.
And so, like, they don't want to see me teaching my son how to persevere, how not to quit, to tell him can't is not in your vocabulary. But what would they want to see our sons doing?
Right.
Y'all already know.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Rapping,
So,
tapping.
not even
out
that.
in
They
the
want to
streets.
see them doing something different now. What they showing on TV, what we was talking about earlier
Yeah,
before
exactly.
we got on here.
Yeah.
That's what they really want to see.
The agenda.
So it's like, nah.
So they can say, look, I told you. See, they all like that. That shit sucks.
Yeah, it's whack. But
That really seeing that you guys seeing that really irritated me. Like the flack that was coming, because I was so, you know what I mean? That was such a moment. Yeah, get it.
Yeah,
Get it.
I was
Come
mad
on, come
too.
on. I was dope. Like I got friends who have sons. You dig? I love to see stuff like that. That's what's up. It's what it's supposed to look like. Just because you don't understand it, just how about you just be quiet? Just be quiet. Like you don't get it, all right? Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Chill
Well,
out.
that's what it is. Let's rewind it back. All right. You get drafted. Your bank account now goes from what it was to millions. How are you handling the money side of it?
So I wanted to buy everything.
What did you buy? Because we was talking about this earlier too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what does millionaire such and such look like? Everybody think Mecca's gonna get his Adidas iced out.
Only he thinks that.
Wait,
Only he
I
thinks
thought
that.
that.
Turn up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were joking. He really think. Only
Nah,
he thinks that. Nobody.
I know
thinks
it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen.
It's not gonna
I
happen. I'm
know
not
it's gonna
doing
happen.
any
You know
of
what I
that.
mean? Champ is gonna have like different colored Jeeps and shit like that. Like, what was your thing?
Man, I had a surplus of everything. I was getting everything. Houses, cars. At one point I had like 3 Maybachs. Stupid. You know,
Real.
so yeah, I'm like, man, like now I look back like why was I doing this? But it was like I never had it.
Right.
So I didn't have a real guy to tell me, hey man, save your money. What you doing buying these dumbass cars for? They're gonna depreciate.
Right.
But you know, I came in an era where it was the cars. You gotta have a nice car, and for me, I wanted to show everybody, hey, I had it. I had all the cars, the best cars. Our team was like that. The Magic team, when people came to our games, the other teams, they wanted to see what cars we had in the parking garage, because we had the best cars, the Rolls Royces, Ferraris, Maybachs. I had Maybach on speed dial. They sending me new Maybachs that ain't come out yet. I had the Maybachs with the air freshener and the air conditioner. You press a button and it's yeah. So I'm like, man, I just wasted money on crazy stuff when I could have been a lot smarter. So
So nobody around you said, yo, you're wildin'. Your parents,
He
like,
was
no
young.
one.
He was
I
young.
know
Well,
that.
could
but there's
anybody
always
tell you
somebody.
anything at that point?
it wasn't like I was wilding with what I was buying, but at the same time, I buying it for them too.
Right.
So they wasn't
You
thinking,
gonna shut up? I ain't saying
hey,
nothing.
stop doing what you're doing. They
Yeah.
thinking, hey man, he getting this for me, why not? I want it too. He got it, you know.
Right.
So if I could do that part again, I would say no. No to everything. Hey, no, you don't need this, you don't need that. I know you want to splurge on this, that, and the third, but it ain't even necessary. And then once you start developing a habit of wanting to get more and more of this, you start, like I said, how a man do one thing is how you do all things.
Okay.
So now I'm trying to get a plethora of everything and everything I got. So it's really just spreading me thin and bringing me down instead of building me up.
What brought you to a halt? What made you say, okay, all right, I'm tripping. This is getting out of hand.
Was listening to one of I forgot his name, it's an old NBA player. I want to say it might have been Antoine Walker. He came and he was talking to our team, all our teams, about him going broke and stuff like that, and all the pitfalls that he had. And I got home and I was like, man, like I know what he going through, and I gotta change this before I get to that level.
Right.
And so after that, I was like, man, I gotta make a hard stop with everything. And once you do that, to people who have been accustomed to feeding off you for so long,
You're gonna lose something.
they get so mad. You know, you hear the craziest things. You know, I was like, man, I'm doing all this for you guys, and this how y'all turn on me because I'm stopping. It just puts you in a place where you don't want to trust nobody. You feel like you can't. You don't want to do nothing for nobody. It's like you just want to be in a box, because it's like, fuck all these people, man. I just gave up all the shit that I worked for to help them and see them smile and stuff like that. And now they turn on me because I'm saying, yo, I can't do this no more, because if I stop, if I keep doing it, I won't have no more.
Exactly.
But they don't care. They don't care.
So what do you do different now? If you don't mind me asking, like financially, are you like investing in things, or are you in the stocks, trades? Like,
Man,
Real
I
estate.
just budget. Save, save, and then invest when it's the right time. But first, just try to save, because if we get so much of our money taken out. One from Uncle Sam, it's 51%, 49 I think percent tax for us.
Yeah.
That's day and a half our money right there.
Right.
So then you got agents, and you got child support.
You got child support.
A lot of athletes may have child support. So that's something that, well, I do that. I got to bring that in. So all that stuff is factors in to everything. So
And then there's a player tax for each state that you play in, right?
each state you get taxed in.
Which is crazy. That sounds illegal. That sounds illegal.
That sounds like robbery, highway robbery.
It's like everything we get, we got to get it right back. That way, made that song, spend a check.
Did you get rid of Did you get rid of the excess? Did you sell off the cars and
I did.
get rid of
Rid of
the
the
homes?
cars, downsize on a lot of the homes I had. Just got on the budget. It's just like I see the end game. I want to be able to have this in my kids forever, so their kids and their kids don't have to do this. But if I kept the bleeding going, then everybody would have been.
It'd have been. Where are they now?
Right.
Where
that
I
show?
yeah.
Dwight
Giving
out
those
of the-
Antoine Walker speeches.
Yeah.
Out of the people that you had to say, I gotta stop, who stayed? Who understood?
Who understood?
Yeah.
It seemed like nobody understood.
Nobody understood.
So that wasn't your real family or your real friends if nobody understood.
You can't say that,
But
bro.
they were,
No, you
but
can't.
it's hard to say that though, cause like
It's like they turn on you when you don't do for them.
Imagine telling a kid, yeah, no more Christmas.
No, I'm saying grown
Saying Christmas is over.
These is grown up stuff.
No, but
he got
that's
a point.
what it feels
He got
like.
a point.
Those are grown up.
but
It's
it's
even different with kids.
But
Like,
that just makes the stakes higher. Like
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
if you were paying the rent and out of nowhere,
I
I'm not
say
paying the rent.
no more. Yeah.
It's like, oh, bro, whoa, you gotta warn me or something. I need like 2
Need
weeks
a
notice
year.
or something.
Yeah.
You can't. How you just gonna dead? Like I don't even have a gig lined up. Like I don't have anything.
that they would spoil you.
That's what I
But
think.
he got a
So
point
that
too.
was.
It's all that. It's like a handy. It was a crutch.
Right.
You know, and
I ain't
and
gotta
was-
do this. I ain't
was
gotta
the
do that. He
enabler.
gonna take care of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
no,
and
you know
I
what
was
I'm
the
saying?
enabler. It was on me.
But it's a major education on both of y'all parts. You not having the education to know what to do with your finances,
Right.
and them not being educated enough to know, I can't keep depending on him
Yeah.
for the rest of my
Yeah.
life. I'm gonna have to ask him, listen, you want to invest in a business or something? Like,
Yeah.
I need to do something else because I know you ain't gonna keep giving me the back. So it's a miseducation on both sides. I think
It
that's the
is.
problem.
It is. We just didn't. And you're right. We didn't have the proper guides.
Right.
Right.
And where were we learning from if we never had it?
Yeah,
I never
right.
had $1,000 before I got to the NBA. So how was I supposed to know what to do with $1 million?
Right.
Right.
I was taught, hey man, you get that check, you gotta get your mama a crib, you gotta get you a crib, you gotta get you a car, your mama a car. You know what I'm saying? You get little honey, you wanna make sure she right.
Right.
So this is like what
You
they
lost the
telling
right
us,
thing.
but this is not the real right thing.
Right.
But this is the only thing that we all know, because we ain't never known anything else.
Right.
And that has cost us so much. So for me, now I'm like, I don't want my son to go through this. I don't want my daughters to go through this, because I know how much it hurt me for me to have to go through it. And I'm a strong individual, so I don't want them to have to deal with none of that stuff. So I would rather teach them and help them and guide them in the right direction so they won't have those same pitfalls.
Right. Right.
I don't know. It seems like getting mom a house and a car wouldn't be that. I was thinking all the extras. Like
You said the mom?
your mom's a house and a car is kind of like standard.
Yeah. I mean,
That's regular.
just get a house, get everybody, put everybody.
But when your mom want a house,
What if
your
the
sister
moms
might
and the
want one.
pops ain't together no more? Then you got to get your mom's a house, your pops a house.
All right. You get one house.
Got to put the kids
Like,
through school. You want your kids in the best schools.
No,
Sometimes you ain't got no choice. Because your mom can sneak off to Texas and buy a crib and expect you to pay for it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
crazy.
something else just happened. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
something different.
Shots fired, man down.
I love you, Ma. You crazy, yo. You crazy. You crazy. Boy, this is crazy.
I don't know what just happened.
All right, speaking of crazy. All right, what's the difference between being on a team with Kobe and a team with LeBron?
See, I was at different stages of my life and career with both players. So with Kobe, I was super young. I was in my prime. Not that I was egotistical, but I felt highly of myself because of my accomplishments.
Right.
And I've never had a superstar teammate. So I think we bumped heads because of the age gap for one, and me just never experiencing what it's like to have another, alpha star like that on the team.
Right.
I don't think we bumped heads a lot like Paul's. I know he was waiting. He was waiting on me that time. As soon as I said that, no, but man, we got into it, but it was more so because the age gap. And as I got older, I started to realize that more of how he felt. And as a young ball player, you're not seeing that. You think the game lasts forever. And, when you get older, you see, hey, I ain't got that same amount of time and energy to put into this, that, and the third.
Right.
And it seemed like we fell out, but it wasn't really like we fell out. We just had some disagreements on the court like any other team and any other teammate. But, man, Kobe and LeBron. LeBron almost act like somebody from the South Side in Georgia. Yeah, we act kind of like twins, joking, silly, have a good time. We get on the court, we still gonna have a good time, but we gonna dominate. Kobe ain't bullshitting with nobody. He might not come to the locker room and talk, and everybody so he just gonna walk all the way past us. Not got nobody up, give a head nod or nothing. He just walk past us, but. That's just how he would come in. I guess now looking back on it, he probably was doing that just to get everybody ready for practice because we too loud. He coming in there, we joking around, laughing. But, he was just a little different. He was just serious. Different in his approach. Yeah, but that's Kobe. That's what made him who he is.
Mamba mentality.
I think, see,
what do you think what he mean by the Mamba mentality?
I think going through the things that Kobe went through, especially fighting the case and all that stuff, but still lacing up and getting on the court and putting up his numbers. I think that's where that Mamba mentality comes from. That, I block everything out. All I see is the game. Even though all this shit, these headlines and all that shit is going down, I block everything out. It's like, that's it. I'm on it.
I thought he was on that before the case. To me, it just seemed like
it got worse.
Chasing Jordan was all it was.
That's what I was gonna say.
Whatever happens, fuck all this other stuff. Nah, that guy. I gotta catch those rings. I gotta be compared to that. Like, he's one. I gotta be number one. I gotta beat him. And it just felt like nothing else was as important as catching Mike.
Right.
But I think I feel like he wasn't trying to. I feel like he started out trying to catch Mike,
and then after a while he said, "I'm Kobe Bryant. I don't need to catch Mike. I could just do me."
Right.
Because literally everything Michael Jordan did, he did it times two.
You think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jordan was a mid-range shooter. Kobe could shoot threes. Jordan, I think Kobe played, I can't say he played better defense than Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan had a defensive
Player.
Well, it's two different eras.
That's true. But Kobe played in both eras.
But Kobe played in the latter end of Jordan's era.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like Kobe, skill-wise, he could do more than Jordan.
But Jordan had that game where Jordan could shoot threes. He just wasn't his main thing to shoot.
He wasn't as efficient.
Right.
So he stuck with the twos.
Jordan? Nah, see the Jordan argument.
shot enough threes.
It's always gonna come down to this, bro.
Six rings.
Always gonna come
Facts.
down to this.
Mhm.
If
No-
you can't
no
do
game
this,
seven.
that's gonna be the one thing that a person is always gonna be able to say. But
So
they
then
ain't
what
got
about
it.
Bill Russell? Is he the greatest?
Totally different era.
But he got
Gotta
12
be.
rings. You just
But-
said
but-
you
but-
just did like
but
this.
The greatest, okay. Here's how I've always looked at this. There's the best, and then there's the greatest. You may not be the greatest and still be the best, right? Greatest, I've always attributed to accolades, Grammys, Oscars, rings, like greatness as far as what you can hold
Tangible.
again. Tangible. That's the word I was
Tangible,
looking
yeah.
for. Meanwhile, the best is the guy who will smoke the greatest if all things were even. If all things
Okay.
were even,
Okay.
10 times out of 10, I'm a dog walk you. Like you can't do anything with me. But you have all the accolades, et cetera, et cetera. So I looked at Bill Russell as like the greatest winner in the NBA off the strength of all those rings.
Right.
Was he a better? Nah, the skills weren't as honed. It wasn't as defined. The game was different, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So you can't even. It's a bad
a wash.
comparison.
It's a wash.
But winning wise, yes, the greatest winner in the history of the NBA, hands down. He runs out of fingers.
Right.
Okay.
But skill wise, the best player,
What about Kareem then?
same thing.
How?
As far as what? No, I don't call him the greatest winner.
I'm talking
But-
about the best player.
He's one of them.
One of them.
So,
He's one of them.
So the best player would be who to you?
I think all around game is probably Jordan.
All around game.
All around. When you say the best, I start thinking of in all areas. Where was there a weakness? Where was there something he couldn't do? And Jordan, and I'm talking to an NBA player, so this is just me talking. I'm not. These aren't facts. It's just my feeling. I looked at Jordan as having the best, or being the best all around
Overall
NBA,
game.
overall NBA player. Defense, offense, assists, like whatever it was necessary, he had it in the bag, and he could excel at it. And when you get the intangibles, marketing, et cetera, like globalizing the game, everybody went like putting the campaign behind him, which is different.
I mean, the man took a year off, came back, and got 3 more rings, bro.
Then there's that.
Went and played baseball.
Yeah,
And golf. Wasn't good at it.
always
Yeah,
play
nah.
golf.
But I think what's missing real quick is the fact that we take away the whole thing of the generational
Yeah.
situation, like how basketball evolved
Right.
over time. Think
You
about
had
how
Will-
Bill Russell
you had Will
and Kareem
Chamberlain.
Abdul-Jabbar was playing ball back then with skippies on a Converse on flat freaking ground.
And Hoochie
And then
Daddies.
and Hoochie Daddy shorts, yeah. And then it evolved, and you see Jordan doing astronomical things because things changed. The environment,
Environment
the
changed.
people,
And then
the
there's a
rules.
generation who saw Jordan, who enters the NBA, and after a while, you see all this greatness,
Right.
and now every team has like 2 superstars, 3 superstars,
Right.
Yeah.
And it
Like
evolved.
at any given moment, like we're pretty much rolling the dice when it comes to who's going to be in the championship now.
Right.
It's like I don't know.
Imagine Jordan's skill set with Steph Curry's mentality. Like it had Steph into the way he switched up, changed the league. It's now no longer an ISO game; it's a team game. And he's shooting from the half court, damn near, and hitting them.
Yeah.
Imagine that the step back. Jordan never had a step back. He never, they didn't have
Euro
a step back
steps
then.
and all
Yeah.
that.
The Euro, like so many different.
Who do you think is the greatest player?
I think it's 1A and 1B with Kareem and Jordan.
Kareem and Jordan,
And then LeBron right there.
and then LeBron right
And
there,
Kobe.
then Kobe.
Kobe
You
number
put
4.
you put LeBron before Kobe.
It's like they like 2 and 3. Well, 3 and 4, I'm sorry.
Right. Leave it in the comments. I know y'all about to talk
Yeah,
about
y'all about to wild
Leave
out.
it in the
Crazy.
comments,
They
my
gonna
nigga.
wild
Leave it in
out.
the comments.
They gonna say LeBron. Everybody say LeBron.
I think Kobe.
They gonna say Kobe. They're gonna say Kobe.
You got something that's gonna say LeBron though.
Yeah, I mean, facts, but
It's a lot.
I
But
saw
think
a lot
they
of
don't never put big man. Why is no big man ever put in these
because
categories?
y'all are closer to the rim, man.
That makes it
too
harder.
easy for
It makes it harder.
It doesn't look like that.
What do you mean?
How does it make it harder?
Okay, so for Kareem to score how many points? 38,000, something like that, without threes. You don't think that's harder?
Yeah, that's definitely.
He scored the same amount of points LeBron did in less time with no threes and in a different era. You don't think that's harder?
I agree with that.
Even though the basket's right there, it's harder to get to the rim because you're playing against people that's big too. What do you like? And they blocking off the paint. It's not just that easy.
Right.
So I feel like it would be harder to score in the paint than you shooting jump shots and stuff like that because the guy can give you space. But in the paint, it's no space. You got to
Physical
create
contact.
space, and you always fighting for position. You fighting to do everything. You got to jump in the paint.
Right, but there's probably one other person on the court that can actually block you.
That's not true.
Because they
It's not
beating
true.
you up the moment you come to the hole, pause, they beating you up.
That's a pause.
Yeah, that's a pause.
What you say after that? Pause that
Double pause, but yeah.
Gat, you deserve
Hold on.
Right.
Pause, I'm gonna pause this. Once you're a big man, pause. You're going to the hole, you're gonna get beat up every time.
Correct.
That's why you gotta know those fights. Because you was getting beat up every time you went to the hole.
Yeah, and then they tell us y'all are strong, so y'all could take the punishment of people hitting y'all and stuff like that. So it might be a little different.
Right.
When the guards go to the hole, they get fouled, they gonna call it. But for us, we get they're not. So it's gonna be. I think it's harder for the
Is
big
that
man
why
to
they say
score.
LeBron flops a lot?
I don't know what
Because
they
that's
say.
my understanding. That's my understanding.
That he flopped a lot.
That I feel like, yo, for a big man, you have to like flop
No,
for them
you-
to be
that's-
like, yo, I got it.
They're not gonna call a foul. Every time I would flop in the game, you know what everybody say? He too soft, man. He too big. Why is he flopping? Why you flopping, White? What you doing?
It's a fact.
That's because everybody's saying, bro, you gotta flop. Everybody telling me, yo, you gotta try to let them see that you're getting fouled.
Yeah, right.
That shit don't work.
But that
LeBron, though.
It don't work for LeBron.
Not all the time.
You saw him
Not
all the time.
What about when they played in Boston? He ran around the whole court crying. and Pat Beverly had the
Came out with the
camera
camera,
like,
yeah.
look, that's a foul. LeBron was on the ground like, please, look, that's a foul. Come on, you see, everybody knows.
That shit is crazy.
That's the fact.
How do you perfect the flop?
You can't just no flopping, man. Just
Who? Just who?
just go take it and finish.
That's it.
Pause.
Yo, this nigga's crazy. That was a super pause. That was crazy.
Yo, boy.
Yo, point though.
We're going to take a 5-minute break. Yeah, Mike,
Why
not
do
something
you
about
think
yo.
I don't read the comments?
Yo,
Why do you think I don't read the comments? I never read the comments.
I read all that shit. I read it because
No,
it's hilarious. I think it's
fucking
funny.
what?
The comments
I don't
do
take
be
none of that
funny.
shit seriously.
some of them.
Bro,
Comments be
But what do
funny
you-
as
When it's
shit.
not about, when it's not about
When
you.
you press record, you press
Yeah.
the record button. What's running through your mind when you speaking on that? Like, what are you trying to gain from that?
The same thing that he got.
FAME for another
Jeff.
motherfucker's entertainment. FAME. That's all they're after. For another motherfucker. It's attention addiction.
You can't
In,
walk
in, in,
nowhere
in
though.
its
Like,
harshest form.
you can't go nowhere.
They don't care. It's worth it
don't.
to them. That's why you can't focus. Like, who are you arguing with? Look, put it like this. If I did something cool for you specifically,
Right.
and Champ saw me do it and called me a sucker for doing that shit. Yo, that's some sucker shit you just... That would make Champ a sucker. Why am I listening to him? Why am I... And that's all the comment section is full of. Niggas who would never say it to you. I used to work at the Source, bro. I saw the letters come through from
It's a
people
fact.
making shit up. The artist would be right in front of me. A letter would come saying he did this. Right, he's right here. Like that day, he was literally in the office all day. Allen Iverson, we interviewed him for Source Sports. Here come a letter claiming that he was doing X, Y, Z, A, B, and C. And people's main thing, the main defense they have for that shit is, well, why would they lie? Why would they lie? The quickest answer to that question. The quickest answer to that question. Misery loves company. How you keep forgetting that shit? Why would they lie? Why wouldn't they? They miserable. They got shit else to do. This is adrenaline for them. Like, they're excited that you responded back. I don't read the fucking comments. It's full of fucking bullshit. I don't even read comments on my Instagram page. I like everybody's shit.
You got fucking Goku and Vegeta.
The comments is
saying
funny,
you're not a real nigga.
I seen it. It was a post where it was I hope nobody get mad at me. But it was a dude, he didn't have no legs and he was fighting. And so when I read the comments.
And he whooped the kid, right?
He had no legs, but in the comments it was like Geodude. If you don't know who Geodude's a Pokemon character.
The rock guy with the
So like when I read the comments, I'm like, yo, people's thinking this and they putting it in the comments and it's funny as hell. Like that stuff be funny. Like when you see stuff like that.
But then the other stuff be like,
nah, but it's touchy though when you speaking on death. When somebody died, that's something different. Like
they don't have any. There's no such thing as infamy anymore. Infamy and fame is all the same thing. However they get noticed, however they get recognition, it doesn't matter how it happens.
Yes,
but you already people already know you though.
Already know who.
It's like you already got like people know who you are.
They wanted to stay that way.
It's like what's the end game?
They wanted to stay that way. They don't want they know 15 minutes is free.
The end game.
So they got to stay in people's faces.
Is that short amount of time where everybody's focused on their disruption.
So does that go from lack of attention when they were young? Does that go all the way from something of their youth?
I think it definitely has something
it
to do with the
depends.
household.
It depends. Are you getting paid by this? Because if you're getting paid by it, then it's a monetary gain to doing shit like that.
Yeah,
and they'll do that.
We know most of
somebody
them
who need attention, somebody who lacked it from a young age because they'll do anything to get it.
It might be somebody who got attention. They just want the money from the clip that it's going to bring them.
I think it's more than just a need for attention. I think when you raise a generation with participation trophies and they spend their entire childhood being told how special they are and how unique they are for not doing anything other than showing up. They want that all the time. I got a trophy just for trying, and I know deep in my heart I didn't even try. All I had to do was show up. So where's my trophy just for existing? Here's what's another word for a trophy? Validation. Right? Somebody validates your effort. They validate your achievement. Here's a trophy that validates that. Okay, well here's another form of validation. My likes, my all the hearts that I get, all the big ups that I get, all the attention I get. That's validating my existence because nothing else is. So this little box in my hands has turned me into the star of my own reality show.
Right.
And I'm my own aspiring emperor of my own world. And nothing else has to exist outside of my world. I'm Michael Jackson, Prince, Michael Jordan, Biggie Smalls, all rolled into one in this little, as long as I stay in this universe, as long as I got battery and Wi-Fi, I'm the man or I'm the woman. So all the attention that comes to me, these are just my subjects. And this validates my existence every day. So why wouldn't I shit on you, or her, or him, or me
to get my accolades,
to validate myself because you don't really exist. I'm never gonna see you in real life. I'm never gonna have to deal with those. That's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna see you. And when I see you, you won't know who I am.
So you think.
Right. Until I actually do run into you and then it's but that's the reason why. I don't think it's just I want attention. I think it's more of a validation thing. And Champ, that's why I don't care about much. Because for me, it feels like that's why they want it. And I don't care enough about that to pay that any attention. So I'm never in my comments. I like everybody. If you said something under one of my pictures, I just give it a like to say like, hey, I see
test it out. You can test it out.
Yeah, like, hey, thank you.
Like,
I appreciate you being here.
No, if
like,
you go on MECC joint, you can write, yo, MECC, you a dickhead. He'll like it.
Yeah.
He'll like that.
Yeah, pull up. Yo, pull up, yo. Pull up. 2-3 times. Get your friends. Bring the whole crew. Everybody can
block you.
Nah, man, you gonna get a hard. Hey, thank you for participating. Thank you for showing up. There you go. Thank you.
So if a nigga call you a dickhead, you liking that?
Who is he?
Anybody.
Okay, but anybody is a nobody.
You said you liking everything.
Yeah,
like,
he's gonna get a like too. Like
yo.
people get on my page and disagree.
blocked,
with me.
my nigga.
They disagree with me. They get upset. They pissed off about shit that I say. You think you can never be wrong. And this is coming from who, bro? You
It's
are.
coming from me. I write that shit on you.
And still I show up here every week not giving a fuck.
Them bots, that's math.
Nah, I never had a fake page, bro. That shit don't make no
I don't
sense.
give it. I just.
And if I did, it'd be Mav Hoffa's fake page. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't see myself with like the Goku emoji or some shit, like just talking shit.
The egg, you still got the egg up there.
Yeah, something in me would die that day. Like oh shit, I'm laying down.
You're too old for that.
I don't care about that. I didn't care about that when I was supposed to care about it. Because I saw what was behind it. I saw the kind of people who were writing these letters. I saw like the envy and the spite and the malice.
Yeah.
You just really want to say something bad about somebody so somebody pays attention to you. You don't even mean that shit. You don't. You don't even know that person.
Yeah,
you really just made that up.
Just making
That's
it
real.
up.
How can you pay it? How can you care
I mean,
about
I
shit
told
like
this story a couple times. Somebody wrote something to me. I woke up one day and somebody was just wilding on me on Twitter. And they had their location on it. I just happened to be in Miami and they was in Hialeah. So I just took the ride.
That's the one where you say you took the
Yeah,
picture.
took the picture of the door and I put it up. I was like, yo, this you? And they was like, chill, I was just joking. And I'm like, yeah, dude, everybody ain't gonna be in the mood for that shit. You know what I mean? Here's what it is. Speaking of what we're talking about, though, do you have a burner account?
No.
You don't. But a lot of NBA players have burner accounts, right?
I don't know.
Kevin Durant definitely has many burner accounts,
I
right?
mean, I don't know. He probably do.
Yeah.
He probably do, but no, I never.
Wait, didn't KD say he had a burner?
Yeah, of course he did.
Oh, he did?
Plenty of them.
I thought I read that.
He got one?
Yeah.
I thought I read that
That's
somewhere.
tough. I don't know.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, he got caught a couple times. All right.
That's the GOAT, you said?
Moving
KD's
past
the GOAT?
To go to what?
Generation.
When we talk about comments and the comments that people make, you made a comment saying that you in your prime was better than Jokic, and a lot of people disputed that. How did you feel about the response that you got from that? Especially okay,
Just like he said, I was
Right.
just like, so I know what I do on the court against this man. And it's
Right.
not me. Like, people think I was trying to downgrade Jokic and all his success. Like, I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's doing what he's doing.
Right.
But this is what I was telling people. If 2020, y'all were saying that I was stopping this man in 2020 and I wasn't in my prime,
Imagine what you do.
what would I do if I'm in my prime?
Right.
It wouldn't be no question. So why would I say, yeah, you know, he'll beat me. I give up. He better than me.
Ain't
Who
nobody
says
saying
Who
that.
says that?
Nobody
Right.
said
No.
Right.
And I done played it like my era. Look who I played against.
Right.
I'm playing against the Kobe's, Kevin Garnett's, Dirk Nowitzki's, Prime D Rose, Tim Duncan, Yao Ming, Shaq, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Gerald Wallace.
Akeem Olajuwon.
Nah, I ain't playing
Just
against
like,
him.
I
missed him.
that on
He's on Akeem
Nah, I ain't get you there.
Give Akeem his props though. He's
No, Akeem is the man.
Yeah.
Who was your toughest opponent, though?
My toughest
Your
opponent?
toughest opponent on the court.
Top 3.
Toughest.
Like,
I just feel like I didn't have a lot, like, not saying nobody wasn't tough. I felt like,
Who gave you a run for your money?
Like, you know this game coming up,
Yeah,
you're like, all right, I got to put my
gotta
A game
play
on.
no, it wasn't like that to me. To me, every night I wanted to destroy everybody. My mindset was, it's not who I'm playing against. My mindset is the people in the rappers, the names up there. That's who I'm playing against. So I'm playing against Wilt. I'm playing against Bill Russell. All these guys. Those are my competition. So every game, I'm thinking I gotta catch Wilt Chamberlain.
Right.
So that's why you see my first 9 years, I'm the first player with 1,000 rebounds, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Because I'm like, I got to get Wilt.
Right.
But he all the way up there, damn near 30,000 rebounds. It's gonna be hard to catch him.
Right.
But that was my goal. That's always been my goal. I never looked at the people that I was playing against. Not said I overlooked them,
Right.
but it's like, this is who I'm trying to catch, so nobody can get in my way. I don't know if that's a bad mindset to have, but it helped me get to where I am.
It worked.
today.
I guess
Man,
it worked.
if it works, it works.
Right.
Now, people are saying that you are the missing link for Golden State.
I can see that.
I can see that, but I don't think that they want my style of center.
Why?
Not that I can't play or do what is needed, but why would they go get a Dwight Howard when they can go get a young player that maybe has no name, that it's not a risk, no off the court issues and no drama that comes with Dwight Howard or the name or anything. Why wouldn't they just get somebody it's no pressure? There's no pressure.
Well, I can to contend immediately because
But
whoever,
they got
whoever that
5
kid,
championships or 4 or 3, whatever it is. Why would
got
they?
3.
I'm just looking at both sides of it. I know who I am. I know my talent.
right?
But from their business side of it, just why would they do that on their end?
Ooh,
They
veteran
need a
players
big man.
always. Yeah,
They need a big man.
Well learned.
players.
Well
I
learned in the
totally
game.
understand all that from my end. I can fight for myself and say everything y'all saying is right, but I'm just looking at it from their end. They got the best shooter in the world. They got all the vets that they already need. What would they say that they would need me for?
Experiences can't
They
be
got
taught.
the best experience.
No,
That's
not
what I'm saying from what they would say.
I'm saying with
Yeah,
A
instead of getting that new guy,
an
they would get
experienced
someone
big
who
man.
has experience.
Right.
I understand that part, but they don't be seeing it that way in the league.
Even when you averaging 38,
All right, so
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
let's
yeah.
go back to when we won the championship with the Lakers.
Right.
Why didn't the Lakers just bring us back?
Yeah, I don't know.
We just won the championship. Why would they go away from it?
It would have
I
made
thought-
sense to keep you.
What did they say was, what did they say? We want to get better at the center position. So they went and got Marc Gasol and Montrezl Harrell. That was their way of saying we got younger and better at the position. Now, in my mind, I'm like, we just won a championship. What's better than that?
Right.
But they're thinking what's best for them and the way that they got their business set up.
Didn't work out.
And it didn't work out.
At
So
all.
maybe they think something different now.
I wish they did.
Yeah. Would you come back to the NBA? Do you want to come back to the NBA? That's the question.
I mean, I don't have nothing else to prove. I feel like what would be the purpose?
You don't want another ring?
I mean, what
The
would
ring he didn't even bring. You know what I'm saying?
Word. What's up with that,
Bring
man?
the
We
ring,
want to look at
bro.
it in person,
Come on,
man.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man D Rose. He came through, but he ain't got one of those yet. You know what I mean?
at this stage, man, really, my kids, man, like, I want to see more of them grow. You know, and the NBA takes so much time away from home and family and stuff like that. They're getting at that age. So, I
Where
mean,
your
it feels
presence is
like,
needed.
yeah, especially now, especially in the world that we live in and the stuff that's been going on, it's necessary. It's really necessary. And I want to be more present than I ever been for my kids. Not saying that I've never been present, but I just want to be more present because I feel like it's needed. They need that protection and strength because the spiritual warfare that's going on now is way, way, way worse than it was when we was coming up, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I feel like if we don't, you know, I know for speaking on my family, if I don't do what I need to do for my kids and stuff like that, you know, they won't learn. So I think it's important.
Well, what are the things that you see going on in the world that you feel like, okay, this is getting out of hand?
For one, they just snatching kids. snatching kids, taking kids. You know, these kids don't, like before I started taking self-defense for my kids, the reason why one of my son's friends, little kid, 9 years old, 26-year-old man tried to beat him up at a basketball game. Big, swole dude, just tried to fight this little old kid. And I'm like, man, these kids, our kids need to learn how to protect themselves to where they're not picking up guns, or, you know, trying to, you know, do stuff like that. But when you learn how to protect yourself, that gives you a level of discipline, but also confidence. And knowing, like, I can protect myself, so I don't need to go out looking for fights, looking for any drama, anything like that. I know how to get away from any situation. Right. And I feel like that's something that is needed, that's important, is our kids understanding the discipline of having self-defense. In other countries, Taiwan, China, stuff like that, it's mandatory for males and females that they go to the army. They learn how to shoot, how to, you know, protect themselves. Yeah. Why we can't do that here? Too. We should be doing that for our kids, all of our kids, even us. We should learn how to protect ourselves. We never know what can happen at any moment. If we not in shape and our kids not in shape and they don't know how to move and navigate, if something happen, we all done. Right. You know, so the thing that really helped me with that is I did a show in Jordan called, it was a Special Forces World's Toughest Test. And it was like this show, we was in the desert, we stayed in the fort. It was 16 contestants. We could only bring 3 pairs of underwear. And we went through this physical, mental, and spiritual test that kind of broke us and made us into better people. This was really good.
Can you tell us about the experience? Like, break it down? I noticed you mentioned 3 pairs of underwear.
That's all we could bring on the show.
That's all you could bring, 3 pairs of underwear.
3 pairs of underwear. Imagine standing, you know, it was similar, this size right here, 16 of us. We're in our own little kind of like beds, but we're in the desert. And every day we do different tasks. One task, we had to climb this 250-foot tower, and we had to jump off the back of it. One task is they put us in a truck. They dumped the truck in the ocean. We had to wait till the truck filled up with water. We had to wait till it filled up with water. Once it filled up, Staff Sergeant came, tapped us, take our seatbelt off, swim out the back of the truck. We had to get set on fire. We had to we went through some, like, we had to write death letters to our kids. That was probably the hardest part, was, you know, writing a death letter to my kids and having to read it out loud to the rest of the contestants. We had to fight each other. It was crazy. We got kidnapped. I got kidnapped on the last day. It was crazy.
You mean you got kidnapped on the last day?
Yeah, I got kidnapped. Me and my partner, we got kidnapped.
But is it like, I mean, I know it's staged, but do you know what's going to happen? Like, so, tomorrow you're getting kidnapped.
No, we didn't know none of that. So what we had to do was try to escape from these people that was trying to capture us. So we're probably about 2-3 miles. We're running through the desert.
You had drawers on? That's it.
No. We
said they had to come with.
Yeah, we had 3 pairs of drawers, but we got 2 outfits. We had a wetsuit and a dry suit. It's just our army clothes, like army fatigue. So, we running through the desert. There's 4 rendezvous points that we got to try to get through the desert. Each rendezvous point is a different part in the desert. While we're running, it's dogs chasing us, helicopters. They got guns drawing down, trying to shoot us, and they chasing us in cars. So we gotta hide behind mountains. We gotta, you know, wait till they clear certain areas.
Call of Duty.
Nah, it sounds like my childhood.
Your childhood was like that.
another day in Brooklyn.
Yeah, so after that, they captured us. They made us. They put us in this jumpsuit. At nighttime, the weather's like 50 degrees, so it's cold as hell. Throw water on us. They put us in this dark room, cover our faces, put headphones on us, and play like the craziest noises. Pigs oinking, babies crying, women screaming, somebody scratching the chalkboard. They playing us for like 2-3 hours. And we gotta stand with our hands up for 2 hours like this, or lay down on the ground. They might put us in the hole. They might throw us in an all-white room, turn on all the lights and interrogate us.
I went crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I'd have lost it.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Wait, what made you want to embark on that journey?
I wanted to test the limits of who I am and get broken in all areas and come out stronger. And they really tested us. Like, there was some stuff that had me like, I can't do it. And I remember just seeing how my son was in that video, and I'm like, dang, that was me. But I ended up having to do it, and it helped me. So when I got back home, I was able just to have like a vision of how I need to be with my children.
What was the thing that was most difficult for you?
When I was in oh man. So they had this mountain. We had to run up this mountain, climb up this mountain 200 feet. And they had this wire, 2 wires. There's one mountain on this side, one mountain on that side. 2 wires going across like this. We had to step on the wire and slide across. Mind you, we 200 feet in the air. We sliding across. It's nothing, there's no net, no nothing. All we got on is a little rope to stop us if we fall, so we won't go all the way to the ground. And I was so scared for my life, and I was like, that was my breaking point where I had to decide if I was gonna quit or keep going. And it helped me get stronger after that.
Wow. Yo, how do you sign up for that shit, man? It sounds like
How you
fun.
sign up for it? It was on Hulu and Fox. Was it Fox? Fox. So it was Mel B from the Spice Girls. That's my boo thing. It was Montel Jordan.
Different kind of analysis.
Montel Jordan was there?
He was on the show. Danny Amendola, football player. Mike Piazza.
Baseball player.
Yeah, baseball player. So it was a lot of celebrities, celebrity special forces. And it was the craziest show I ever did. But when I got finished with the show, it was like it was only 2 people completed the show. I lasted all the way to the last 30 minutes and they kicked me out.
Wow.
Because they said I wasn't strong enough or something. They just said, you gotta go.
What happened, man?
So when they would kidnap us, we had to not break and tell them what we were really there for. So they gave us like this whole little rundown to tell if we got kidnapped. And since I didn't say nothing, they made me go home. The 2 ladies, they said why they were there and they let them stay. And it was kind of weird.
So you,
You're not supposed to tell them.
So I
You
did
completed
exactly
that shit, man.
I really did.
they wanted him to be a rat in order to make you gotta be a rat? Oh nah.
Word.
You got kicked over because you wasn't a rat?
Yeah,
That
I don't get it.
That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
It was the craziest show I ever did, man. I swear to God, like, writing a death letter, man, and reading it out loud to you about your kids, that kind of like freed my whole spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm able to do anything and not allow my emotions to run me. Mm-hmm. My feelings and emotions, I can put them aside when I have to do my task or do anything. I don't allow my emotions and that energy to move me. So it was really good that I did that.
I'd love to try something like that.
You would do it?
Too, Mac. You wouldn't do it?
Hard pass.
Hard pass?
I would do that shit.
You would do it?
Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, that shit was good, man.
Mac, you
I've
fight
gone to
all the
prison, so I have to go in and out
time. You
of
break
prison.
your
I would do it.
elbows, your arms, your knees, your legs, your calves. You want to try that, bro?
13-year-old beating the
Hold on.
shit out of you every day.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, Meg, explain yourself, my
You
brother.
would do it. I think you would do it. And I feel like if you was there and like, let's say all of us was there, you started doing some of the exercises and stuff, your adrenaline and you'll be like, nah, I gotta complete this. You wouldn't want to quit because it's like
I wouldn't want
you will want to finish the mission.
That's why I wouldn't start. Exactly why I'm not going to start.
Yeah, we did some crazy stuff.
It sounds like it. Hard pass. You know, knock yourself out. I'll watch.
Wow.
I'll take it.
That's a lot.
He said,
Now, with that being said, right? Here's another question. So, you see all of the stuff that's going on with some young NBA players, such as Ja Morant, right? And flashing guns or whatever against the suspended, getting in trouble. It's a 2-part question. One is, have you ever spoken to him? Do you know him? And if you ever gave him any type of advice, or what would you say to him or any other young NBA player that's going down that rabbit hole?
I don't know him personally. I would love to speak to him about the situation, but it's like, I feel like he has so many people trying to reach out and speak to him. And it's like, he probably just need a chance to just chill. Like,
Be still.
he's 23 years old. Like, just imagine being 23 with 200 M's just from the NBA only.
Not even endorsements, none of that.
Then you add on endorsements. That's maybe 400 M's and you're 23. Who can tell you anything at that moment? You don't know.
Right.
So for him, it's like he want to experience all these things that this come with. And for us who's watching, we like, yo, bro, you gotta chill. But we don't know what it's personally like. And if I was to tell him, I would say, hey, man, I know it's tough. I know you want to do this, but that character that you want to portray to the world, leave that at home. You got to be this character. Even though it's hard, you got to play this role, be this character, because this is going to set you up for life. This is going to set you up for everything that you want. Keep this character at home, and it's also going to keep you safe, and it's also going to keep your mental right. Now you know how to play the game. You know how to be a chameleon. You can go in any room and change up your character, but also at the end of the day, you know who you are. And so I think it's tough. It's like an identity crisis. You know, he wants to be, all of us, you know, when you young, you get money, you want people to think that you tough, you got this, you got that. But you're a basketball player. We don't have to be thugs. We're not thugs. We don't have to do none of that stuff. We made it as a basketball player. But I got love for him. I want him to see him continue to succeed. I think he got crazy game, but it's just the people he around could be messing him up, and that's so tough.
The influences.
When you have your friends and stuff that's around, you still want your same friends and people that you grew up with around. You want to try to bring them up with you. But sometimes you got to be like,
Everybody
I gotta
can't go.
let them go.
Everybody can't go.
Everybody can't go, but that's the hardest part because you want everybody to go.
Because now when you try to go back, them same people you try to take with you and try to take you out.
Yes,
Yeah,
they will.
They become the exposers.
Right.
Yeah. Who was that for you? Who did you have to let go?
Really, it was me, my old self. I had to let go of all those things that were not bringing me peace. Because I was, you know, like I said about the cars, I had a plethora of everything. So for me, I had to learn how to let go of all the things that was just bringing me down. It was weighing me so much. Too much of anything can hurt you.
Right.
And I had a lot of it, a lot of whatever it was. And for somebody like me, I can get addicted to stuff like that, whether it be cars, it could be smoking, it could be girls. You know, all that stuff can become an addiction, you know, especially when you get a plethora of it all the time and it's easy access. And you gotta learn how to limit that, learn how to set boundaries between yourself. That's the hardest part. That was my hardest part because I had everything and I'm 18 when I first got it. So it's like I'm developing this whole lifestyle of getting whatever I want. And I'm living in a whole different world than what everybody else is living in. So, you know, it is different.
Why do you think the NBA hasn't put a system in place in regards to teaching young athletes about how to manage their situations? Especially 18, 19, 20, whatever age they are, going into league, getting all this money, it being such a learning curve, and them not understanding this and being misdirected. Why do you think the league hasn't put that in place?
They have one.
They do?
They have a rookie transition program.
Oh,
but
shit.
again, the thing is...
They had it when you was there?
They did.
Oh.
But all of us say the same thing. It can't happen to me. Not me. It ain't gonna happen
A little
to me.
denial there.
Yeah, and then it end up being you. So it's like, you just gotta, whatever it is, stay locked in, especially for the youngest who wanna be in this league. It take a lot of sacrifice. It take a lot of discipline. The NBA is only, the average NBA is 4 years, 3.5 to 4 year NBA career. So anything after that
It's gravy.
is, yeah. So you really got to be consistent, and you got to be disciplined, and you got to block out all the noise, because at this level, it's so much noise. It's so many distractions. There's so many things that could bring you down. And if you're not grounded, it's easy to get wiped away because it's so much. It's so much.
I don't know if this should be my last question or the last question of the night, but from everything you're saying, is Dwight Howard announcing his retirement from the NBA?
I never said that.
No, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
I'm not announcing my retirement. I just like, we're having a conversation, so I really like to spark the conversation, keep the energy going, and
Oh, you just fucking with us.
He's about to sign with the Warriors tomorrow.
Yeah,
This is about to be a whole year contract.
Heard you say like,
but
that's some bullshit, Dwight.
Seriously, I'll be up for real. I'm not announcing my retirement, but you know, there's a lot of other things I am thinking about outside of basketball that, you know, I do want to venture off into. I've been playing basketball for a very long time. And not saying I don't love the game and love all the stuff that comes with it, but you know, like I said earlier, I love my children way more than any sport, anything I've done. They mean more to me than any of that stuff. So my kids wanted me to stop playing today. I'm out.
Right.
I feel like they are owed that. You know, I've given so much of myself, you know, to this sport, you know, and to this game, and it's been great to me. But now, like, I wanna give to them.
And you can't understand why I'm asking you if you're announcing your
I know why
retirement,
you
saying something like that.
I know why you saying that.
Come on, I want to give to my kids.
Yeah.
Game takes too much.
But
We got a bunch of other things I want to do.
It's upon their request.
The Lakers, I don't know, Golden State, they shouldn't get me.
But there's still a passion there. I mean,
It
playing in Taiwan.
has nothing to do with
I
the
just
other.
can't say I want, like, for example, everybody's saying about the Warriors, the Lakers, I could be on their team. You are absolutely right. But if they don't sign me, I'm not going to just sit around and just wait.
Right.
I got to keep moving. I got to keep living. So I understand that at my age, yes, I could play in the NBA. Yes, I could contribute to a team and be dominant. And I know that I'm better than 80% of the centers that's out there and can produce more. But that's what's needed right now. It may not be needed. So, yeah, I love the game, but sometimes you might have to give up the things that you love.
We right back to where we started for you. Right? You said
These are good sound bites, baby.
Good sound bites.
Everybody watching me like, hey, what are you gonna be doing that shit, man? Shoot.
if you announce your retirement 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna be pissed that you didn't do it right now.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna be
let's just get the reporting in case. When Dwight Howard, I'm announcing my retirement.
We're gonna miss all this ESPN love that we could be getting because you want to say it someplace else. You're gonna say it on your Instagram. That's some sucker shit.
No. I think he's
He gonna put it on YouTube.
You're trying to get the State Farm guy to come out there with you. You're trying to get
State Farm guy?
State Farm guy, Chris Paul. You trying to get him over
To go to
Taiwan.
hell no.
You know, the Warriors.
Yeah, he on the Warriors. Why do guys not like Chris Paul?
I was actually gonna.
If I wanted to come back,
Yeah.
and what team?
What team would you
would you want to go on?
Oh, for
The Knicks, man. What's up?
The Knicks.
He said I'm just
Hold on, classic.
I'm just playing. Them were jokes.
Give me some alcohol. Wipe your
Oh man, somebody gonna call you for that. We gonna clip it, right? We see the Knicks. We gonna clip it right there.
We're gonna get on ESPN one way or the other.
Hey,
Dwight Howard.
that gotta go out tomorrow. That gotta go out tomorrow. All right, with the longevity we're seeing, LeBron, 38 years old, still playing the game, still operating at a high level. You think that's something that's possible for a lot of players?
It is. It is.
What does it take?
Sacrifice, man. He sacrificed his whole life, and look what he's gotten him to the top of everything. He's at the top of the scoring list. He's at the top of the assists, at the top of. He's doing everything the proper way. And so it's like, if you take that same mindset, that same plan that LeBron is doing, all of us can be successful that way. And it may not be basketball, that may not be our passion or whatever it may be, but whatever we do it wholeheartedly. You see that you can accomplish anything and you can do it with longevity by somebody like LeBron and the stuff that he's doing, you know? So big shout out to LeBron. I'm proud of him. We done had our moments, you know, on the court, played against each other. I was the only person, me and the Magic, to beat LeBron and the Cavs. Remember that? The Magic. But now I'm really proud of LeBron, man. I remember, it's crazy, the day before Kobe, the night before Kobe died, we were in Philly. And it was the night that LeBron broke the Kobe, so he passed Kobe for the scoring record.
Yeah.
So I remember sitting in the locker room and I was watching him do his interview and I was like, man, I'm gonna wait till he finished doing his interview and I just wanna tell him that I'm real proud of him. I've been playing against LeBron since I was 15. And our first game was against him in Houston. He was in a little older group, the 16-year-olds, and we was 15. And I remember not knowing who LeBron was, and after that game, everybody knew who LeBron was, and it was like, you know, to see him go from there, then the ABCD camp, and then all the way to being the best scorer in the NBA history and one of the greatest players to ever play. Big shout out and props to LeBron.
Yeah, shout out LeBron.
They said he spends $2 million on his body a year.
I thought it was $1 million.
$1 million?
I thought it was $1 million.
LeBron, why don't you come up and tell us?
I used to do that a lot, spend that almost the same amount with everything I was doing for my body. And I understand that you got to have somebody for everything, you know, and that's important.
There's a chef.
You got to have a
strength and conditioning coach.
What else? You got to have somebody from. They don't like that word, masseuse.
No,
that's kind of like a bad word in basketball.
Body touches.
That's worse. Body touches.
What they say? That's therapists, psychologists, massage
physical therapists.
Masseuse is kind of like nasty time. That's like,
oh, well, okay.
Give him shoulder rubs and touches, nigga. That's what that is.
But you gotta have, you know, everything. There's a guy who in the league now who does this like blood, some type of crap. They like spin your blood. It's illegal. I mean, not illegal, but it's legal. Mm-hmm. They like spin your blood and it kind of helps you recover faster. But it's like,
it's illegal in boxing, right?
No, it's legal. You can do it in all sports.
Wait, didn't Kobe? Like they put your blood in the centrifuge and
it's like this
the
machine
plasma.
You can take. That's PRP.
Okay.
Not PRP. It's another machine that they take your blood out, and then they put more protein and good, you know, stuff, oxygen back in it, and then yeah. So it's just a lot of things that athletes can do to kind of keep their body right. And none of this stuff is bad. All this stuff is legal.
What's the type of food y'all eat though?
Actually, when I was in my prime, I was eating so bad sometimes.
Oh man.
Even though I had a chef, but I was like, before games, it was McDonald's.
Jordan was too.
Jordan
ate like shit too.
2 double cheeseburgers, large fry, small fry, large drink, and like a milkshake before the game.
Before the game.
Yeah, my teammates made sure I got it. It was like, yo, we got to make sure he get his
all his
McDonald's
carbs.
before the game.
Get all them carbs.
Yeah, that was it. So, but when you get older, it catch up. So.
Is it true too that y'all, like a lot of y'all would train on like way above sea level because of the lack of oxygen up there?
Yeah, I would
come
go
back
to
down to
Aspen.
sea level, you perform better.
I would go to Aspen. I would go and train in Aspen for like a month or whatever every summer, and that'll kind of help me get my wind up and everything like that. So when I do come back, I would never get tired.
Right.
So my routine was like I would get on the treadmill 48 minutes, since that's how long you play in the game. So I'm running the treadmill 48 minutes. After I got done doing that, then I'm on the court and I'm working out. Then I'm doing sprints. And after sprints, then I'm going to play. So we in the gym most of the whole day. Then after that is recovery. But now the most important thing, besides being in the gym all day, is recovery. So I think that's why LeBron probably spend most of the money on is the recovery and stuff like that. Because the muscle memory is there. He know how to shoot, all that stuff. Now when he go in the gym, it's about perfecting each little craft, the different moves, his favorite little look-off move where you do like that and shoot.
Yeah.
All those things is things that he's crafting when he's going in the gym because he done already did the recovery.
Does that work on the court?
What's
I mean,
that?
it works on the court, but the rest of us, we see that shit coming a mile away. When he go like this,
It be funny. I be making jokes about it all the time. He be mad as hell. He making fun of me on you see him over here killing. And he just be doing that. I be like, I know they see this is coming. Y'all ain't blocking. I be mad as hell for the other team. Like, bro, hey, man, come on, man. He telling you he about to
right
shoot.
there. It's like, I'm going to shoot this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he just, and he looking at the ball. And he,
Oh, shit.
nah, man, hey, he cold. I gotta give it to
cold.
him. I gotta give it to him.
Gotta give it to him.
Between him, there's been a lot of players that are so gifted, like offensively and some of the moves and stuff. It's just like Bron, the stuff he be doing, I just be laughing. Like, I know he didn't just try this in the game. Like, he'd just try some stuff, he'd be like, did he really just try this?
He just ran down the court and shot a left, like crazy shots. And I'm like,
he crazy. But
it goes in.
it go in and it works. So it's like, don't be afraid to try it. Get out on the court and let it all out. That's the only way you get better, and that's how you grow.
That's how he closed out the Raptors. I remember when he ran out the court. It was like, crazy.
What was your reason from trading from like 6 different teams to 6 different teams?
So the Magic, after we went to the finals, they kind of changed the team. They traded a lot of the players. So I was like, damn, we just made it to the finals. Why would
they do that?
I don't know.
trade these players?
Sense.
So what I just told them I wanted to leave, start fresh, start over. And they said, all right, well, where do you want to go? I told them I wanted to go to Brooklyn Nets. This is when I was with the Magic. And so what the Magic told me was if I signed over my ETO, it's my early termination, they would send me to Brooklyn at the end of the year. And they ended up sending me to LA, to the Lakers. I never really wanted to go to the Lakers then. But it wasn't like a decision to go to these different teams. It was just, I felt the best team for me at that time was, obviously, I wanted to go to Brooklyn. That didn't happen. So I went to the Lakers. And when I saw James Harden, I looked at him like a younger version of Kobe. I don't know why I was thinking that. No disrespect to James. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but I was thinking at the time, me and James could be like a new version of Kobe and Shaq, because he's the young 2 guard that's coming up in the league. I'm the older center that's been dominating. So I'm like, man, maybe we got a chance. And the furthest we got was the Western Conference Finals, but I feel like we wasn't on the page like we needed to. But, if I could have stayed in some spots longer, I definitely would have. I think the Lakers' decision was solely based on I felt like me and James was going to be better at that time, and me and Kobe, we could have figured that out. I think we left a lot of shit out on the table. We could have figured that out.
Do you feel like you would have had a ring if you would have went elsewhere?
I feel like if I would have stayed in LA, I think a lot of the narratives would have changed around about me. I think me leaving and not saying anything about anything, it gave the other media voice to speak on my behalf and say what they felt.
Right.
And since I didn't say nothing, now people got this whole misconception about,
Right.
oh, he couldn't handle the spotlight. He didn't want to be here because
that's that
of this, that,
unchecked
and the third.
lie becoming the truth.
Yeah, so I didn't really say anything about it, and I should have stepped up, and I should have manned up and said something. But you know, looking back on it, you know, if I would have sat down and really thought about my decisions without being in my emotions, I probably would have stayed probably in LA at that time.
Is there a time? Is there such a thing?
Emotional decision.
Is there such a thing as a toxic culture in the locker room?
It can be. It can be, especially when you're losing and you're not around a lot of veterans and people who understand that there might come time in the season where you might lose and how to handle it. It can get toxic. And I've been in some toxic situations, but not too bad.
Who you was to blame? You ever got blamed in that locker?
In the locker,
Yeah.
when I played for the Lakers,
Yeah.
yeah, they blame the whole season on me.
Talking about all the
did.
Laker fans. Everybody
Yeah.
saying it was my fault we lost. And I'm like,
And being that you looked up to Magic, I think Magic was taking shots at you at the time.
Magic Johnson,
Yeah.
yeah, Dwight don't win this series. He should not be a Laker. I'm like,
damn, that's fucked up. But I think I handled a lot of stuff emotionally instead of taking my emotions out and just hooping.
Right.
So I would say that was something that I could have did better.
So how good did it feel when you went back and got the ring?
Man. So I'll tell you a crazy story. I was in Washington playing with the Wizards, and I had back surgery, my second back surgery. And before I left Washington, I had talked to the owner of the team and the GM, and I said, if you allow me to get healthy, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds, and we're gonna win the championship. He traded me to the Grizzlies. Grizzlies never said anything to me. They never brought me down to Memphis or anything. So I called the owner. I said, hey, I would love to come down and be a part of the Grizzlies. I know I'm an older player, but I have a lot of experience and wisdom. I would love to help the younger players. If there's any way we could get like a mini camp going before the season start. He was like, listen, we ain't got no room for you on the roster. I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cold world.
Cold world.
Yeah.
So I said, bet, I'm finna go get in the gym. 30 days, I lost 30 pounds. Lakers called. I said, I'd be on the next plane to LA, come work out for the team. Middle of the workout, they called my agent. We gonna sign Dwight, it's over with. End of the story, won the championship. So,
Let's go, Lakers. Let's go. Did you ever get an apology from the guys that criticized you being at the Lakers before and they're not working out?
nah, I don't want no apologies. I know I could have did better than a lot of things I did, and it just wasn't the situation. It just wasn't the time. But everything that happened, I can only blame myself for the issues and things that I did. I can't blame nobody else. So I take responsibility of my actions and my part and all that stuff. So, I don't want nobody to say, I apologize, we should have did this for you.
Yeah.
I created some of the mess too.
Right.
So I have to look in the mirror and take ownership of the part that I did,
Right.
and grow and live from that.
I was happy for you, man.
Man,
I was
yeah,
happy for
man.
you. I was like, oh, getting down to the wire.
I wasn't gonna man, I'm telling you, when I was in the bubble, man, mind you, we couldn't have no family, nobody there at all for the first 2 months, I think. And at that time, my son's mom had just passed away.
Wow.
So he was 6 years old.
Sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you guys. And his mom passed, and I'm like, how am I do this? They not letting kids in the bubble. I can't see my son. So that bubble was like, I felt like I'm not in prison, but I felt like I was like away from everybody and I needed to lock in. So in the bubble, I'm up every day. I'm seeing all the guards walking around. They had police everywhere. And I'm like, bro, there's nobody here but us.
Right.
That's crazy.
But
They had
people sneaking
police.
out, right?
You can't sneak out. If you cross that gun line, boss, it's over with. It's some games. You cross that. So, yeah,
Right.
so how they had it set up was the hotel where we stayed at, they had a perimeter. So they had cops on the outside with cars patrolling. And they had cops walking around. Then they had security inside by the elevators. I'm like, bro, ain't nobody here but us. So every day I said, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go work out, and I'm going to just stay locked in because I got to get this trophy. So when we got down to the wire and we played the Nuggets, their room, like their meal room, was across from ours. And that's what me and Joker little battle started. Every day I'm going in there, speaking to them, you know, trying to get in their head.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see y'all later on. How y'all doing? I'm just messing with them. But like that whole experience was like the best, man. It was the best, even though we was away from our family. And that part was hard. And, you know, I was away from my son. Just that whole experience and winning the championship is nothing like it. And I was so happy that, you know, I was able to just get to that moment of winning the championship. It's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Who you think the new face of the NBA is? New faces, you got, you know, Luka,
It's so tough.
you got
There's so many
Joker.
guys.
I mean, but you got some guys that's standing out more than others. You know, Greek Freak,
Okay.
Joker,
Yeah.
Luka.
Luka nice.
Who else, eh?
Ja.
Yeah.
Right.
Tatum is cold.
Right.
Still
Jalen
Steph.
Brown cold.
Jalen
Steph
Brown.
cold.
It's still
Right.
Steph. It's still Steph.
Who?
D
D Book.
Booker,
But see the
Donovan
thing
Mitchell.
now, that's what I'm saying. It
I
can't
like
be.
Schroeder,
It can't be. It can't
Schroeder's
be
nice.
one face. Like remember when Jordan and all these guys played? It was just Jordan, even though it was some great players, but
Right.
Jordan was the marquee.
Right.
Now it's so many marquee players and marquee matchups because you got the talent pool of the NBA is so high now. Just think about the guys that didn't make the All-Star team this year.
Wow.
And how good they
Nice.
are.
Yeah.
So it's like the talent pool is so much better. They might need more teams and
Did
more
they talk
cities.
about opening up
Two more.
Seattle and Vegas?
Seattle was a great basketball city. I played there. Seattle was fire. And Vegas would be crazy too.
Yeah, Vegas would be nuts.
That
They
team
need-
gonna lose every.
Guess what they need to go to? They need to go back to Vancouver.
Yeah.
They got to go back to Vancouver. Vancouver's nice.
Yeah, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Forgot about that.
Vancouver's nice.
Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah, I don't know how Vegas. I don't know how you can live in Vegas and be an NBA player in
What you mean?
Vegas.
What's wrong? What?
Free heat,
Like
free
110
prostitution,
degrees.
all of
But that's it. But
legal
you can get that
prostitution, all the
anywhere.
gambling.
Look, you an NBA
A lot of
player, man.
metropolitan
Come on, man.
areas.
You get
You can do that in New
Come on,
York.
man.
You can do that in
No.
LA.
No, not it. Vegas is different.
As
What-
an
what is
NBA
sports-
player, everything's at your
What are
disposal.
sports
That's
groupies like?
what sports?
Sports groupies.
What are they like?
Yeah, like
The cheerleaders.
Come on.
like some of them reporters, son. I
The
feel like
reporters? It
I
do be
feel
some
like-
nice reporters.
yeah, I feel like you
But
know
you got to stay away.
you gotta
do
stay
it,
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them do their job, man. Like, especially the young black women that's trying to come up. Let them do their job. Let them get there because they already stereotyped.
Right.
So don't even try them, man. It's not even worth it.
Right.
It's so many. Like it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying?
How awkward is it when you're holding a press conference in a locker room?
What you mean?
Like when you're in the locker room, like motherfuckers getting out the shower and reporters is right there and shit. Like
You got your towel on.
It ain't that bad.
For real,
I mean,
man.
it just depends on like what mood you in. Like if you want to really talk right now, sometimes the reporters try to ask you edgy questions to trying to get in your head. I remember one year, Stacey Ogden, OG, this reporter said something crazy to Steve Francis, and he took a lotion bottle and slung it at him. Said, "What the fuck wrong with you? Don't say nothing about my teammate like that." I said, "Yo, this is crazy." But like the reporters, sometimes they would actually try to amp you up to say something like that. But you always got to be calm and level-headed. I think that the worst time to interview is right after a game when you're tired. And not just right after a game. I think players should have a chance to go back, clear their
Decompress.
mind first, decompress, and then speak. Instead of like, as soon as the game over, they just come talk to you, and you ain't even think about the game and what just happened yet. You still on this high from hooping.
Right.
So, you know, that's the only part.
Westbrook be cursing them niggas out.
He do.
He be cursing everybody
He do.
else.
He don't care. He gonna say it.
Like, what the fuck you just say? I fuck with Westbrook.
This shit over, man.
His
This shit
facial
over, man.
expression is hilarious.
Dwight, thank you. Champion. Don't forget that. Champion.
That's the champion.
He can put the ring in your face. Your face. Not everybody can do that. Shout out to Chuck, though. Shout out to Chuck. But yeah, champion. Dwight Howard.
This hot foot, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.